I had been working down on the coast on an environmental justice struggle that had been brewing for years over land loss in the historic African American community of North Gulfport and Turkey Creek. We were in the midst of plans and redevelopment strategies to protect their neighborhood from flooding and other poor planning and land use decisions that the city had been advocating for a number of years. We were faced with one of the largest hurricanes in modern history.
Here today we have brought the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under the Law from Washington, D.C.
We were able to set up a series of legal clinics on the coast shortly following the storm. And our role was to get some answers on the range of issues that most disaster victims faced, from insurance benefits to housing assistance to where to find a shelter, how to locate a family member. Many residents were living under the fear that they would be evicted by their landlords because they hadn't been able to make their payments since the storm. Many had lost their jobs. Many of the banks were destroyed by the hurricane. That, on top of the increase in unemployment from the hurricane, created a financial crisis for many of the residents that we met with.
We're people over good deeds that need places to stay. And FEMA, as of yet, is coming over there and have not did anything.
I've had a great experience with the lawyers that have come down. I think mostly because they sense how much I appreciate them being here.
We are sort of a roving field unit of legal responders driving out in our minivans to the latest disaster site or tent city.
Before the storm, there were only 2 legal services attorneys for every 10,000 Mississippians who qualified for legal services. So there was never an adequate number of public interest lawyers on the coast or in Mississippi in general anyway.
And the real dilemma is the need is so enormous at a time when, say, the court system itself is so crippled, so incapable of really handling the kinds of problems that have come out. That's at the conventional level. Then when you deal with people at the low income level who are just dealing with basic needs like, can I stay in my apartment or not, it's significantly greater.
One day I saw 12 people put out of their apartments for non-payment of September and October rent. These people stood in front of that judge, explained that they had lost their jobs, or explained that they were waiting for their FEMA check. Every one of them said, I am willing to pay rent, but I just need to get my FEMA money first. And then this particular judge said, are you done, ma'am? Are you done, sir? And then ordered eviction.
At the end of the North Gulfport workshop, we had seen about 200 households, and about 15 people came in looking very distraught. We learned that about 50 families were living in a complex that was federally subsidized, and the residents were abandoned. There was no formal process to evict these families. In fact, they had just used these veiled threats that they were going to be permanently kicked out. What we were able to do is to let the residents know that they had every legal right to remain at Edgewood Manor.
If there's no place to go, we're just creating a huge population of potentially homeless people in South Mississippi, and it's going to be a tremendous social problem because we're going to have to take care of them, or an adjacent state that has more mercy than we do is going to have to take care of them. But somebody's going to have to take care of them.
We're seeing the racial and economic disparities of those who have yet to begin to rebuild their lives and are in need of many social services, but are also in need of some direct legal representation to give them a sense of hope and an opportunity to participate in this rebuilding effort.
If a lawyer wants to come down here and argue a case before a judge, I have a case for them to do that.
It's similar to the way that the people who first came down here in the civil rights era in the 60s experienced, where there was a profound bonding with people that you never normally would have met, an opportunity to feel like you're really fundamentally changing and uplifting some people's lives in real time.